Hi, it's me, Vicky Marie, and in this video I'm going to do, this is the next one in my series of back to basics over the Nicola Bulley case. So we will have the results of the inquest if you know it's not adjourned or nothing goes wrong. We will have the results of the inquest 5 weeks today. And I, in the run up to those results, I've been doing a series of videos back to basics, just going back over some of the things from the Nicola Bulley case from in the beginning when Nicola was missing, when everything was a flurry of activity and interviews, and there was news from the police and the media was still allowed to cover the case, etc. Of course, since then it's been this deafening silence. And, you know, I wanted to look back over things to remind myself, well, two reasons. One, to remind myself why I was suspicious of PA and Emma, which I still am, and watching back over these videos and bits of information, it seems even more certain to me that, to me, the best case scenario is that they had some hand in driving Nicola to the point that she arrived at, if she did do it to herself. And the worst case scenario is that maybe they had some hand in some kind of foul play in the ending of Nicola's life. But as I always say, and the other reason I wanted to do these videos is that, you know, I'm constantly getting new subscribers, some from other countries who don't know, you know, are just coming into the story, don't know the full story, wondering why people are suspicious of Emma or Paul or both of them. And so these videos will remind them. And some of you may not have seen these interviews at the time. Sorry, I've got like, I don't know, cotton in my mouth or something. Anyway, so those are the reasons why. And we're going to look at two more interviews, two more. Emma White did 17 interviews. I'm hoping I can chase down the whole 17 of them to look back over. We looked at two in the previous video. We're going to look at another two videos in this video. I've put two short videos together as short interviews with Emma together. So there's still 13 to go. Whether I'll be able to chase them all down or not, I don't know, but I'm going to try. And we're going to just have a look at some of the reasons why. And, you know, there's a massive swell of suspicion against Emma and Paul. And I do believe those things, they happen for a reason. They happen for a reason. People would not feel so suspicious. I'd like to think that I'm not such a horrible person that I would feel suspicious of someone for no reason whatsoever. You know, those reasons, it's like that spidey sense, isn't it? You know, when people are saying things and you think, oh, hang on, that just, why are they saying that? That sounds a bit strange. It gives you that instinct. And I think, you know, if you're just coming to my channel, you probably don't know my whole story. Nobody knows my whole story, but I have talked a little bit about experiences that I had with stalking in my not break the language barrier, Confessions of a Spanish Teacher book, which is available on any Amazon site. Sorry for you that have already seen this, but you know, I don't know. Obviously, there'll be new subscribers that maybe don't know about this. And in this, I do tell about my own experiences with stalking and coercive control. And I think anyone, and from what messages that I've had from lots of my subscribers who've been through similar things, when you go through that sort of experience, you're in, and also experiences that I had when I was a child, your intuition sharpens, because you have, it's like a protective mechanism. I think if you've never been in danger, you know, if you've never felt like under threat from anyone or lived with any kind of domestic violence or coercive control. Maybe your senses aren't so heightened because they haven't been needed, because there's not been a situation where you've needed to be totally on the ball. Any of you that are watching that have lived under these circumstances, you will know that as a survival mechanism, you have to be aware at all times of what's going on. Pick up on atmospheres, pick up on moods, anticipate how somebody's feeling, and are they likely to, because most domestic abusers, they're not like that every day. You can go weeks, months even, with no problem. And then one day, just the wrong thing, you say the wrong thing, that's how it feels. It's not you saying the wrong thing, you're probably saying something you might say anytime, but they're in the wrong mood. And it sets them off. So your self-preservation, you've always got to be careful what you're saying, what you're doing, anticipating someone else's mood. And all these things heighten your intuition. And for someone who's not been through that, they don't have that same heightened intuition. They really don't. As a Spanish teacher, which is my, other life, I am a Spanish teacher, and I have books online to learn Spanish. I'm supposed to show all this when I start. This is my housekeeping. Break the language barrier. And this is level 5, but I go from level 1 again. If you want to learn Spanish, there are books that are available on any Amazon site. Vicky Riley, Vicky with an I. But I think I've been teaching Spanish for over 20 years, nearly 25 years. And I've seen, you can imagine that's a lot of students that have come in and out of my classrooms. And I've noticed how different people are with intuition. Someone who's got very good intuition, they learn Spanish better for a start, because they can pick up on languages are not like, it's not like learning maths, where it's logical and 2 + 2 is 4, etc. Or even computers and things like that, where everything's in this logical sequence. I found actually that people that are good with those kind of things are normally not so good with Spanish. Languages are fluid. A lot of learning a language is intuition, because it's not always logical. It's just you can pick what I've found over the years, which is really quite strange. Sometimes when someone speaks to me in a different language, even if it's a language I don't know, I know what they're saying. I couldn't put a sentence together. Like if someone said something to me in Swedish, I wouldn't have a clue how to put a sentence together to answer. But somehow I sort of know what they're saying. I think that is intuition. So you can hone your intuition. We've all got it. It's not that I'm special. It's just that over the years, for various reasons, for situations in my childhood, for the situation I had with my ex-partner stalking me, and for being a teacher for all these years. So my intuition has been honed. It just has. And what I've noticed, some students come in and some students just see things immediately and other students don't. I'm not saying they can't ever see it or they can't learn, they can, but it just takes them that little bit longer. So there's something in this intuition thing. And as I've mentioned before, like the police rely on their intuition. Any detective will tell you that sometimes when they're working on a case, they get a hunch, don't they, or an intuition or a feeling of something, and they're normally right, because over the years, again, that's something that comes with experience. Over the years, that intuition has been honed, and some will be better at it than others. Some will perhaps never hone that intuition, and they won't maybe go as far in their profession. I don't know, but what do you think about that? I mean, do you think your intuition can be honed like that? Same with psychics and mediums and things. I think that's about intuition, a lot of it. I mean, I do believe in an afterlife, and I do believe that you can pick up on people's emotions and feelings. And I've got an open mind about psychics. I've been to see psychics over the years. I've been to see some that I thought, oh God, you know, that's an absolute load of rubbish. And then I've had, you know, sit-ins with some psychics that have been really, really good, and so good they've actually even come out with names and things like that. So, you know, I'm satisfied that there's something in that. I don't know, you know, it's mystical, isn't it? We hopefully we'll get to know it all one day when we come to our judgment days, but I don't know. But it's the intuition definitely exists. You have to, and you have to, I think what's difficult as well is learning to rely on your intuition, because sometimes when your intuition is telling you one thing, but your reason, so you've got your intuition here and reason here, they have a little bit of a battle, don't they? It's like you can talk yourself out of things. You know, you see something and you think, well, maybe you think you've seen a ghost or a UFO or whatever, and then you can talk yourself out of that quite easily because your reason takes over. Then you see it and then you think, or you feel it even, and then you think, oh no, that can't possibly be, and you just carry on. So there you go, I've started waffling again. So the other ways you can support my channel, first of all, I want to say thank you for even watching. That's the most fundamental way you can help my channel, support my channel. If you're enjoying my content and you want to see more, watching the videos, liking the videos, and subscribing if you're not already subscribed. Those are the completely free ways you can support my channel and help me make more content. If you want to go a little bit further, you can become a channel member for €1.99 a month, cancelable anytime, and you get some extra information on there. If you're a member, you'll know, well, you'll know some news that I haven't announced to the whole channel yet. Anyway, so yeah, you get a couple of extra videos, extra content, photos, etc. But also you are supporting my channel. I appreciate all my members. Thank you so much for joining. And then what's the other things? Oh, you can buy me a coffee. That's a one-off donation, I suppose, or you can buy one of the super chats, super stickers, or super thanks. And thank you to everyone who's done that so far. I really appreciate it. It is really helping me to make better content and more exciting content. But you'll see that in a couple of weeks. Okay, so let's have a look at Emma. The enigmatic Emma. Now, Emma probably now suddenly doesn't want to talk to anybody. To be fair, maybe she can't talk to anybody now because of the inquest coming up and the coroner has told people not to talk. I suspect she's dying to talk because I think Emma is one of those people, even if she wasn't actually involved in anything bad, you know, as far as foul play is concerned, she loved it. She loved the attention. She absolutely drank it up, loved it. You can see that in her interviews, you know, and I don't feel, well, we'll look at this interview now, these couple of interviews now. You tell me where she looks actually upset or genuinely upset. I mean, there's a couple of times she pretends to be upset, but I don't feel it. Again, it comes down to these feelings. I've you know, looked at true crime for years, and when you watch someone who's genuinely upset because their partner's gone missing or their child's gone missing, you can see it in their face. You could see it in Nicola's parents' faces. They just looked shell-shocked. You know, that's how people look when they're worried about a missing person. Because don't get this it's even worse when they're missing, in a way, as to if as in with Nicola's case, unfortunately she was found deceased, but it's almost worse when they're missing, because the thoughts that must be going through your head of what might be happening to them in that moment, because you don't know where they are. You know, they could be being tortured, they could be being violated, anything could be happening to them when they're missing, and it'd be a torture, that thought of what's happening to them. even worse than when they're actually, you know, when Nicola's body was found, which obviously is awful as well. But there's a resolution there, isn't there? You know that at least they're not being tortured, being violated, etc. So it's a different sort of grief then. But I think this time when people are missing and you just don't know what's happened to them, that's the worst time of all, isn't it? Now, all the, you know, true crime things that I've watched when somebody has gone missing and they interview like the loved ones, friends, etc., who are not involved in it, is different. It's different there. This is very unusual, this sort of reveling in the attention for your so-called friends' disappearance, so you have no idea what's happened to them, to me is just really strange. Anyway, let's see, let's have a look. Right, hang on, let's go back to the beginning there. Seem to miss off the sound.
Self-imposed, he's got this underlying take. But for those two little girls, he's got this underlying worry going on, sadness, heartache. But for those two little girls, he has to be so strong.
Yeah. It's just something that us could possibly imagine.
You can't. And Nikki's the most beautiful person. You see the pictures of her, she's beautiful on the outside, but she's also the kindest soul on the inside. She's thoughtful, she's caring. And then you add her and Paul.
I'm going to go back to the beginning again because I think my internet's a bit slow, so it's not. Let me see, maybe I'm better off going on here. Where am I? How do I get back to the beginning? Ah, there it is. Sorry. Let's try again.
It's just something that none of us could possibly imagine.
You can't. And Nikki, you know, beautiful person. You see the pictures of her, she's beautiful on the outside, but she's also the kind soul on the inside. She's thoughtful, she's caring. And then you add her and Paul together, add a little bit of magic, and they've created these two beautiful humans who are just wanted to know where their mummy is. We are appealing today. Tough milestone today. Anybody with any information to help these guys? We just need something to. It's not making sense. We've got no information. Saw her on the morning as being worry going on, sadness, heartache. But for those two little girls, he has to be so strong.
Yeah. It's just something that none of us could possibly imagine.
You can't. And Nikki's the most beautiful person. You see the pictures of her, she's beautiful on the outside, but she's also the kindest soul on the inside. She's thoughtful, she's caring. And then you add her and Paul together, add a little bit of magic, and they've created these two beautiful humans who are just wanted to know where their mummy is. We are appealing today. As I said, it's a tough milestone today. Anybody with any information to help these guys? We just need something to. It's not making sense. We've got no information. Saw her on the surreal. We dropped some kids off school. Wave.
So, yeah, sorry about the streaming quality there. It's not brilliant, but anyway. So she's saying, she's trying to cry. She's trying to cry. Let's go back. Distracted me because the quality is not brilliant. Hang on.
Strong.
Yeah. It's just something that none of us could possibly imagine.
You can't. And
to be strong and you know that is so false. She's trying to show the emotions that she feels like she should be showing, but it's just not happening, is there? There are no tears. There are no tears whatsoever. She sort of breaks, the voice breaks, but there's nothing there.
She's the most beautiful person. You see the picture beautiful on the outside, but she's also the kindest soul on the inside. She's caring. And then you add her and Paul together, together, had a little bit of magic, and they've created these two beautiful humans who are just...
So it's that eulogising again about Nicola, about how, you know, she's just raving about how lovely she is. And, you know, I'm sure she was lovely. Or, you know, you can see that she's a nice person. But then she brings Paul into it again. So then you take Paul, then you take a little bit of magic, and you've got these two. It's overkill, isn't it? If you pardon the expression.
We are appealing today. As I said, it's a milestone today. Anybody with any information to help these guys, we just need something to...
Again, she's trying to cry. It's a tough milestone. No, look at her eyes. Her eyelashes are perfect. Her eye makeup's perfect. It's a tough milestone. And I've mentioned this right from the beginning. This milestone word. No, I think this was at the 7-day milestone. It's not a milestone, because a milestone is a positive thing. That makes me feel like they've got away with it for 7 days. So that's their first. I think this was planned. You know, definitely, if this is a sort of a theory again, it's just me musing, it's me chatting. Don't take it as I don't know what happened. I'm just saying what possibilities that I think might have happened. And I think this milestone, they sort of planned it. They'd get through the first week, and they've had a plan as to when, you know, the body should be. I mean, I still can't quite believe that body was in that river for 3 weeks, and everybody who looked for it right on the first day, the mountain search teams were out there, everyone was out, the divers, they searched them, Peter Falding, and then just suddenly, boom, you know, she came out of nowhere. It doesn't make sense. So I hope the inquest will give us some information about that. You know, I'm sure they must be able to tell from the autopsy, etc., how long she'd been in the river, or, you know, the cause of death. Obviously, that's the name of James Aidley's television program, Cause of Death. So that's what he's there to find out. And as I mentioned the other day, he's got the Home Office forensic pathologist as well, which is quite unusual in a cut and dried case. They're called in to deal with murder inquiries and crimes. So there has been a Home Office pathologist appointed. So let's hope something is that, you know, that they've got some answers, because still a long way to go before the actual inquest.
It's not making sense with information. So on the morning of the surreal, as we dropped the kids off at school, I gave her a quick wave because okay,
so sorry, this is the second interview that we're looking at on this in this episode. And this is funny what she said. I saw her at the school that morning, and we went off on our busy routines of the day. These are the times that she reminds me of Maxine Carr, who was Ian Huntley's girlfriend, when she was being interviewed. It's too much information. I don't know, you know, saw her at the school and we were going on our busy routines of the day. Well, she didn't have to say that. And that's what Maxine Carr did. She made a lot of interviews where she'd be adding more information, like what they had for dinner, and she cleaned the house, and, you know, information that was unnecessary for what she was being asked about. And also the way she's using her hands as well, which is how I'm using mine now. But let's see.
Routines of table.
So you in regular contact?
Yeah, absolutely.
With,
yeah.
And
right, I'll just go back a little bit.
Anybody with any information to help these guys? Okay. We just need something to. It's not making sense. We've got no information. So on the morning of the surreal, the kids I gave her a quick wave because we're going on our busy routines of the day. It spoke to the day before.
So you in regular contact?
Yeah, absolutely.
With her. Yeah. And speaking of other friends of hers, it seems that this is completely out of character. It's just disappearing saying things to anyone.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we look at the routine she's done on the day. She's on a work call. She's arranged just 1 minute. We're seeing it at the weekend. the plans for next. You know, it's all it doesn't make sense. Today was obviously milestone, 7 days. We thought if somebody for whatever reason hasn't seen the media, let's get out on that road and spread that word. Get Nicky's face out there, contact details. We had a big blowing man just to create attention. And actually, I can say it has received an influx of calls to 101. The liaison officer with Paul.
Yeah, this is where she takes over in her Crime Watch role as well. She could, you know, she auditioning for a part on to present Crime Watch or something. She talks about it like she is the police or she is the responsible person dealing with this.
Paul has called him a time ago and looking into all the as we speak.
So you're saying that today, probably as a direct result of what you guys have been, the police saying they have more calls, more information.
Absolutely, and we have to thank you guys for you helped that as obviously mentally as well. But it's sort of spurred us on.
So notice there, she's thanking the media there. Of course, when it came to after Nicola's body had been identified, and the police, and I will be looking at this again, the police released the statement from the family, which I think was probably Paul. They really slagged off completely the media. So, you know, this time they're still happy with the media. They're caught in the media. They're wanting to do interviews. Paul had sent the voice note to Sky News. Again, I'm going to look at that in this series of Back to Basics videos. We mustn't forget these things, how they wanted to involve the media and then just suddenly they turned around and and the public, they wanted to involve the media and the public, and then just suddenly it was like, no, you know, leave us alone now, because we don't want to talk about it now. But yet, oh, well, unless you want to donate to the GoFundMe, but apart from that, leave us alone now.
Again, it's given we're feeling as if we're again, because I have to say today has been tough for everyone. 7 days, no clue what happened, can just vanish. It's still, I've mentioned before, it's a real experience of a bit like Paul, you know, just this feeling inside, and I can't explain it. But say the hope was diminishing there, but the torch of hope is sort of shining again and giving us just that glimmer of hope that, you know, seeing something, whatever it is, we just have to get Nikki home to those two little girls. Then really in the morning, it's surreal. As we dropped the kids off at school, I gave her a quick wave because we're going on our busy routines of the day. Physically spoke to her the day before.
So you're in regular contact.
Yeah, absolutely.
With her. Yeah. And speaking to other friends of hers, it seems that this is completely out of character to just disappear without saying anything to anyone. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, we look at the routine she's done on the day. She's on a work call. She's quickly arranged a play date just 1 minute before. We're seeing it at the weekend. They've got plans for next. You know, it's all it doesn't make sense. Today was obviously milestone, 7 days. We thought if somebody for whatever reason hasn't seen the media, let's get out on that road and spread that word. Get Nicky's face out there. Contact details. We had a big blowing man just to create attention. And actually, I can say it has received an influx of calls to 101. The liaison officer with Paul has called him a short time ago, and they are looking into all the calls that they're receiving as we speak.
So you're saying that today, probably as a direct result of what you guys have been doing, the police are saying they've had more calls, more information.
Absolutely, and we have to thank you guys for you've helped that as obviously mentally as well. But it's sort of spurred us on again. It's given us that hope again inside that something's going to come. So we're feeling as if we can go again, because I have to say today has been tough for everyone. 7 days and absolutely no clue how people can just vanish. It's still, I've mentioned before, it's this surreal experience of, a bit like Paul, I don't really know. As you said, you've got this feeling inside, and I can't explain it. But I have to say the hope was diminishing today, but heard that torch of hope is sort of shining again and giving us just that glimmer of hope that somebody knows something, seen something, whatever it is. We just have to get Nikki home to those 2 little girls because they're now really missing her.
Basically, she goes on to cry again, and so what do you think? What do you think about it? Her interviews are strange, aren't they? I think they're strange. And that's only 4 now that we've done so far. We've done the previous video two there. She did 17 interviews, so I've got another 13 to find, and I'll do them 2 at a time. I mean, they're only short interviews, but I'll find them and we'll do them 2 at a time. And in the meantime, just let me know what you think. Am I right to think the way I'm thinking, or do you think I'm being? I mean, don't forget to be respectful in your comments. Or do you think I'm, being unfair? That's what I'd like to know. Okay, so I'll see you soon in the next video. Until then, may your God always go with you, and remember to always live and love very carefully. Thank you. Bye.